Today we will discuss acid, base and salt. It is the second chapter of class 10th in chemistry. I would like to explain what is this, what is acid, base and salt. Dear student, around us there are different kind of things. I'll say our surrounding is filled up with different type of things, different type of substance having different characteristic properties. To study all these things, we use to classify them so that we can get the proper information about each kind of things. And the base of that particular classification is any property of that particular substance, any specific character of the substance. Similarly, here the classification of substance, acid, base and salt, it is anywhere based on the taste of different kind of substance. Whenever we used to be there in our kitchen, we can see there are different kind of substance having different taste. Some are sour in taste, some are bitter in taste, some are sweet in taste. So here in Greek language there is a word for the sour taste, that is acidus. There is a Greek word acidus, it means sour in taste. From here, scientists decide that all the substances which are sour in taste, that can be termed as acid. Totally, what can I say? I can say that all the substances which are sour in taste can be classified as acid. Similarly, if we will see one sour in taste, that is acid. In our daily life, we use so many substances which are sour in taste. Out of them, the most important is lemon. In lemon, you can see it is sour in taste and contains citric acid. That's why the lemon fruits are also known as citrus fruits. So the classification of the substance on taste, sour in taste, that term sour is acidus in Greek language. That's why this acid term has been termed as acid. So many scientists have given different definition for these acids, bases and salt. Here I will discuss about the acid, the Arrhenius concept. Arrhenius was a great scientist. What he said about acid and base. Arrhenius concepts of acid and base. Before Arrhenius, as I already told you, according to the taste, sour taste, acidus, acid, bitter in taste, base. B for bitter, B for base. A for acidus and A for acid. Now, what definition has been given by Arrhenius? According to Arrhenius, all those substances which produce hydrogen ion means H positive ion, in their solution are anywhere termed as acid. What? According to Arrhenius, acid means which produce H positive ion. According to the same Arrhenius, the bases are the substance which produce hydroxide ion. Hydroxide ion means OH negative ion. you some of the example of such kind of acid. If I'll say acid, just like I am having HCl, H positive, Cl negative, H2SO4, sulfuric acid, H positive plus HSO4 negative, HNO3, H positive, NO3 negative. Here you can see there is a common ion H positive in all those substances. So according to Arrhenius, all those compounds which produce H positive ion are said to be as acid. I'll give you one more example, just like I am having CH3COOH. It gives us CH3COO negative and H positive. Here SLH, you can see that H positive ion is common in all four compounds. That's why these compounds are known as acid according to Arrhenius concept. Now what he said about the base, he said all those compounds which produce hydroxide ion, those are called base. I'll give you some example how they used to produce hydroxide ion. Just like I am having NaOH. NaOH means sodium hydroxide. It produces Na positive and OH negative ion. OH negative means hydroxide ion. Similarly, I am having CaOH whole twice, calcium hydroxide. It produces Ca2 positive and OH negative ion. I am having KOH, potassium hydroxide. It produces K positive plus OH negative. I'll give you one more example, magnesium hydroxide. This magnesium hydroxide is also known as milk of magnesia. It produces Mg2 positive and 2 hydroxide ion. Here as well as you can see that one ion is common in all these compounds, that is hydroxide ion. That's why according to Arrhenius, all those compounds which produce hydroxide ion in their solution are said to be as the bases. Now we will discuss about the acid only, that how can we study the acid, how many types of acids are there, how can we classify, because whenever we used to study anything, whenever we used to do anything scientifically, in scientific method, all those things, all those process or all those whatever we are doing, that is classified, that is divided. Why? So that we can get more and more information about that in proper manner. So now we will classify the acid, in which manner you will see that acids according to their occurrence means their presence in earth. Here two terms are used generally in our daily life. Nowadays that is used too much, organic. Nowadays one term you can see is used, organic. Similarly, the acids, I am going to classify these acids according to their presence, and that is organic acid and inorganic. What are this organic and inorganic? All those acids which are obtained from the living ones. The organic term itself is anywhere concerned with living ones. Means those substances, those acids which are obtained from the living ones are known as organic acid. Just like I'll give you an example. I am having one formic acid. Formic acid. Sir, this formic acid is obtained from ant sting. You all know about the ant. In ant sting, there is a acid which is formic acid. Ant sting, bee sting, there it work as their protection substance. Protection means every living one is having some protection, I mean you can say protective part, so that they can protect themselves with their enemies. In ant, in its sting, there is formic acid. You so many times you feel it whenever any ant sting on your skin. You can see there is a different kinds of itching. That is due to formic acid. Now I will tell you why the name of the acid which is obtained from ant sting is as formic acid. Because this ant is known as Forminos in Greek language. Means the ant is called Forminos in any Greek language. That's why the acid which is produced, or you can say obtained from the ant, that is called formic acid. Ant is living one, you know. Similarly, one acid I am having, that is acetic acid. Acetic acid, it is obtained from vinegar, and you know this is also obtained from the living ones. Formic acid from ant sting, acetic acid from vinegar, citric acid, one acid is citric acid. Citric acid is obtained from lemon. As I have already told you, in our kitchen lemon is generally used, and in that particular lemon this citric acid is there. Here you can see all those acids, whether it is formic acid, acetic acid, citric acid, these are obtained from the living ones, just like formic acid through the ant, acetic acid from vinegar, citric acid from lemon, and so many acids, other acids are there, just like oxalic acid. So many other acids are obtained from the living. All the fruits which are there in our we use generally in our daily life, those acids contain any type of acid. That's why all those acids which are anywhere concerned with the living ones are called organic acid. And the inorganic acid, those acids which are obtained from the minerals. Inorganic means these are not obtained from the living ones, which are obtained from the minerals. Those are known as inorganic acid. And in inorganic acid, I am having generally three examples. One H2SO4, it is sulfuric acid. One HCl, it is hydrochloric acid. One HNO3, and it is nitric acid. It means the acid are classified into two parts, one organic acid, one inorganic acid. Inorganic acid means those acids which are obtained from the living ones. Out of them, as I have given you some example, ant sting, there is formic acid, vinegar, acetic acid, lemon, citric acid. Similarly, the tomatoes, apple, all these fruits contain any specific type of acid. Similarly, one milk is there. Milk contains lactic acid. All these acids which are obtained from the living ones are known as the organic acid, and those acids which are obtained from the minerals are known as inorganic acid, which are sulfuric acid, H2SO4, hydrochloric acid, HCl, nitric acid, HNO3. Now we will discuss about the acids, another classification according to their strength. Strength means, I told you that the acid are those substances which produce H positive ion. Those are called acid. Now I said one another classification of acid we will discuss, which is based on this ionization. Ionization means how many hydrogen ions are produced by them, whether they are completely ionized or they are not completely ionized. That classification is there of acid. That is what according to their dissociation. According to dissociation. Dissociation means their ionization, you can say. According to the ionization of particular acid, these are classified into strong acid and weak acid. You will say strong and weak. What is the sense of this strong and weak? Strong acid here we are using for those acid which completely ionize into their hydrogen ion. Means those acids which ionize completely into H positive ion. Means suppose that we are having 100 gram of HCl. After its dissociation, whatever the component has been formed, that was the addition of H positive and Cl negative was also 100 gram. Means this acid completely ionized into H positive and Cl negative. Similarly, I am having HNO3. It completely dissociate into H positive and NO3 negative. As well as we are having H2SO4 sulfuric acid. It also completely ionized into its hydrogen ion. That's why those acids which completely ionize into its hydrogen ion are known as a strong acid, and those acid which cannot dissociate or cannot ionize into their hydrogen ion, they are known as weak acid. How can you say that? How will we determine whether it is the strong acid or the weak acid? So, suppose that we are having this CH3COOH 100 gram. After its ionization, the weight of H positive and CH3COO negative, it will not be equal to the 100 gram. It means this particular acid has not completely ionized into its ion. That's why this is weak acid and these are the strong acid. Some more example you can see. Just like HCOOH. HCOOH is formic acid. It dissociate into H positive and HCOO negative. Formic-ion, acetate-ion, hydrogen ion, hydrogen ion. So this was little explanation, means the what is acid. As I have told you, the term acid has been taken from the Greek word acidus, which means sour in taste. That's why we said all those substances which are there in our surrounding having sour taste anywhere concerned as acid. Then after another part we have discussed about the base. Base are those substances which are bitter in taste. As I told you, this classification acid, base and salt is anywhere based on the taste of any particular substance. Actually, I told you we classify the substance according to any specific character.